Greetings and salutations to all of you, including the haters. Welcome to my channel. My name is Oscar Perez. I am a movement specialist, coach, and founder of Primal Kinetics training system. In this episode of my Beef with Veganism, I'm going to talk about micronutrients, specifically vitamins. This video is titled Vitamins. Plant-sourced foods versus animal-sourced foods. Whenever I tell my clients, friends, and family that plants, vegetables, legumes, grains, and fruits contain toxins that most humans cannot process well, and their nutritional content is substandard for humans, they look at me like I'm some sort of a monster from another dimension. I used to be a fervent believer, indoctrinated in the health benefits of the plant world, like most people, until I read a book published in 1939, which was written by Dr. Weston A. Price. If you ask me, he was a genius. The book is named Nutritional and Physical Degeneration, a comparison of primitive and modern diets and their effects, which rocked my world and put me on a path of self-healing, nutritional enlightenment, and refuting vegan arguments. It has been around 12 years dealing with vegan snowflakes and vegan propaganda online with friends and family members. One thing is certain, it has been fun and yet frustrating during this time. But I will not be discouraged nor defeated. And now to the topic at hand. Firstly, we have and must understand what micronutrients are. One of the major groups of nutrients our bodies need are vitamins and minerals. These micronutrients help release energy from macronutrients, protein, fats, carbs, whilst also performing other important processes such as bolstering the immune system, repairing cellular damage, growth, brain function, bone health, blood clotting. They are essential to the production of enzymes, hormones, proteins, and other products created by our bodies. We must obtain these micronutrients from food, since our bodies cannot produce vitamins and minerals for the most part. Vitamins are organic compounds found in plants and animals, which can be fragmented by heat, acid, or air. They are more fragile than minerals, therefore, storage and cooking can inactivate them. There are 13 essential vitamins of which we know that are needed in our diet. Vitamin A in the form of retinol, vitamin B or B complex, vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin E, vitamin K2. Out of these vitamins, 4 are fat soluble and the other 9 are water soluble. Fat-soluble vitamins are stored in body tissue, mainly fatty tissues and the liver. In contrast, the water-soluble vitamins are not stored in the body. Therefore, these vitamins must be continuously replenished in the diet. There are 4 vitamins that are not found in plant-sourced foods, which are A1 or retinol, B12, D3, and K2. Vegans will attack this fact by saying that B12 is bacteria-based, found in the soil or that is produced in the gut. This is true. The issue is that humans are not equipped to eat dirt or eat our own shit like rabbits do. The next thing vegans would say is that we can obtain B12 from man-made supplements. Well, why stop there? If we can put every micronutrient into capsules and pills, and we can manufacture our own foods, why then we need to eat plants, legumes, veggies, or anything for that matter? Going by alphabetical order, A1 in the form of retinol plays an essential role in maintaining vision, body growth, immune function, and reproductive health. Deficiency of this vitamin can cause hair loss, skin problems, dry eyes, night blindness, and susceptibility to infections. The vegan argument is that this vitamin is found in plants, but this is not actually correct. They are giving carotenoids the title of vitamins, and that is wrong and misleading. Some can be converted into retinol. But why do we have to take extra steps for nutrition if we can consume it directly from animal-sourced foods? The key is their bioavailability. Another problem with carotenoids is that 45% of people carry a genetic mutation that reduces significantly their ability to convert them into retinol. Besides, fat-soluble vitamins must be eaten with fat for better absorption. Vitamin B12 is the only water-soluble vitamin in this group, and it is vital, like every micronutrient, for humans. The best sources for this vitamin are animal-sourced foods. There is no debate about this unless you are a vegan snowflake. B12 is the base for making our DNA, RNA, and blood cells. B12 is one of 8 B vitamins. It is the largest and most structurally complex vitamin. It consists of a class of chemical-related compounds, all of which show physiological activity. It contains the biochemically rare element cobalt, positioned in the center of a coring ring. The only organisms to produce vitamin B12 are certain bacteria and archaea. Some of these bacteria are found in the soil around the grasses that ruminants eat. They are taken into the animal, proliferate, form part of their gut flora, and continue to produce vitamin B12. Deficiency leads to tiredness, weakness, can cause megaloblastic anemia, and devastate the nervous system. It can also cause depression, dementia, and many other neurological problems. Vitamin D3 is the next one on the list. This vitamin is naturally present in very few foods, and unlike other vitamins, it is produced endogenously when ultraviolet rays from sunlight strike the skin and activate vitamin D3 synthesis. This vitamin is biologically inert and must undergo 2 hydroxylations in our bodies for activation. The first one occurs in the liver, and the second one in the kidneys. It becomes a hormone once activated. D3 promotes calcium absorption in the gut and maintains adequate serum calcium and phosphate concentrations to enable normal mineralization of bones and to prevent hypocalcemic tetany. It is also needed for bone growth and remodeling by osteoblasts and osteoclasts. Another role of this hormone in the body includes modulation of cell growth, neuromuscular and immune function, and reduction of inflammation. Many genes encoding proteins that regulate cell proliferation, differentiation, and apoptosis are modulated in part by vitamin D3. One small caveat about this vitamin. Most people meet at least some of their vitamin D3 needs through sunlight exposure. Ultraviolet B radiation with a wavelength of 290 to 320 nanometers penetrates unprotected skin and converts cutaneous 7-dehydrochol to previtamin D3, which in turn becomes vitamin D3. The vegan argument is simple and yet stupid. They say that we only need sunlight as our source for vitamin D3. Well, the problem is that without a diet rich in cholesterol and what cholesterol-rich foods contain, it does not matter if you spend 10 hours exposed to sunlight because it will not activate it efficiently. One of the micronutrients found in these foods is our next vitamin, vitamin K2. This vitamin is required for the synthesis of proteins needed for blood coagulation and for proteins required for calcium binding in bones and other tissues. Some of you probably know that there are only 2 naturally occurring K vitamins, K1 and K2. One is organic and the other one is inorganic. K1 is found in plants mainly because its function is for photosynthesis. K2, which is the main form stored in animal source foods and some fermented foods. This vitamin was discovered in 1929 by a Danish researcher and reported in a German scientific journal where it was named coagulation vitamin, but was only given blood clotting properties. My man, Dr. Weston A. Price, who traveled the world in the early 20th century when he decided to study the relationship between diet and disease in different populations, rediscovered it by accident. He found that the non-industrial diets were high in some unidentified nutrient, which seemed to provide protection against tooth decay and chronic disease. He called it Activator X. This vitamin can be further divided into several different subtypes, the most important ones being MK4 and MK7. Here's a question for you guys. Which vitamin K is the one that is needed for human health? Is it the one found in plants or the one found in animal-sourced foods? But before you answer, allow me to present more information. One of the most important functions is to regulate calcium deposition. This means that it promotes the calcification of bones and prevents calcification of blood vessels and kidneys. A study conducted in 2003 by Sprunk, Sauté, Schrögers, Thiessen, DeMay, and Vermeer concluded that vitamin K2 and its subtype MK4 reduced blood vessel calcification, whereas vitamin K1 did not. Other controlled studies in people also observed that K2 supplements generally improved bone and heart health, whilst K1 had no significant benefits. K2 is also produced by gut bacteria in our large intestine, so taking antibiotics may contribute to K2 deficiency. Animal-sourced foods contain MK4 subtype, whilst fermented foods like sauerkraut, natto, and miso contain more of the longer subtypes such as MK5 to MK14. Vitamins K2 and D3 work synergistically with each other, but vegans, when confronted with these facts, go crazy. They do not want to accept it, which is typical behavior of cult members. I have made so far 2 videos about the cultic behavior of certain vegans. I will put the links for those videos in the description box. Listen guys, I'm not a proponent nor I advocate for any particular diet. My point of contention is that humans need animal-sourced foods in order to survive and to thrive. Vegans, on the other hand, make the claim that animal-sourced foods are harmful and not needed at all. Take the information I present with a grain of salt and conduct your own investigation on this matter. Filter the noise coming from all sides. Just be skeptical. That's my advice for you. On to the next group of vitamins. Humans cannot synthesize endogenously vitamin C, and as a water-soluble vitamin, it must be replenished constantly with diet, but it will depend on how much carbohydrates one consumes. The more carbs one eats, the more vitamin C is needed to compete with them. This vitamin is required for the biosynthesis of collagen, L-carnitine, and certain neurotransmitters. Vitamin C is also involved in protein metabolism. Collagen is an essential component of connective tissue, which plays a vital role in wound healing. Vitamin C is also an important physiological antioxidant and has shown to regenerate other antioxidants within the body, including vitamin E. This vitamin is the only essential vitamin not found in great amounts in cooked animal foods. However, sufficient amount of vitamin C can be acquired from raw liver, fish roe, and eggs. Lower amounts are also present in raw meat and fish, but it must be fresh. Remember that the requirement of this vitamin will depend on how much carbs you consume. Glucose and vitamin C look very similar at the molecular level, almost identical. They even use the same pathways for absorption into cells. Because of this, they compete directly with each other for uptake into the cells, and glucose usually wins. So, guess what happens when you drink orange juice? The high sugar content blocks the vitamin C from being used efficiently. As a matter of fact, the benefit of vitamin C in disease may not have anything to do with its antioxidant properties. It might rather sometimes compensate for the glucose overload and insulin resistance that plagues modern humans. A more animal-based diet creates an environment that does not result in scurvy. Meat already contains hydroxylysine and hydroxyproline, which are the building blocks of collagen, further bypassing much of the requirement for vitamin C. Another thing that must be taken into account is the fact that natural human antioxidants are more powerful and take over much of the roles that vitamin C would play. These are synthesized uric acid and glutathione. In essence, we turn on more of these antioxidants and they spare vitamin C by recycling it. E vitamin. This vitamin originates from plants. Animals acquire their vitamin E from plant directly or by eating other animals that have derived their vitamin E from plants and store it in their liver, muscles, and fat. This vitamin is also fat soluble. It has antioxidant properties. It prevents the degeneration of polyunsaturated fat and other compounds by oxygen. It may have additional functions in the membranes of body cells. An attractive idea has been put forth, but it does not stand upon scrutiny. There's no evidence, not good ones at least, that this vitamin retards the aging process or that reduces coronary heart disease. It does not improve libido either. The intake of E vitamin will depend on the amount of polyunsaturated fat in one's diet. A plant-based diet requires a higher intake of this vitamin for this reason than a meat-based diet, and it is still found in adequate amounts in muscle meats and organ meats. B vitamins. B12 is the godfather of the B vitamin clan. This group of vitamins support metabolism and contribute to the body's ability to produce energy, but they also have additional functions. B6. This one helps to produce insulin, fight infections, and it helps create non-essential amino acids, which are the building blocks of protein and biosynthesis of neurotransmitters. B1. This one plays a central role in the release of energy from carbohydrates. It is involved in RNA and DNA production, as well as nerve function. Its active form is a coenzyme named thiamine pyrophosphate, which takes part in the conversion of pyruvate to acetyl coenzyme A in metabolism. B2 is involved in release of energy in the electron transport chain, the citric acid cycle, as well as the catabolism of fatty acids, beta oxidation. B3 has a wide range of uses in the body, helping functions in the digestive system, skin, and nervous system. This vitamin comes in different forms, including niacinamide and inositol hexanicotinate. According to the National Institutes of Health, our body can make niacin from the amino acid tryptophan. Niacin helps with the fragmentation of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins into energy. In addition, it plays a role in gland and liver function. B5 is one of the most important vitamins to human life. It is necessary for making blood cells, and it helps convert food we eat into energy. B7, or vitamin H, is a coenzyme involved in the metabolism of fatty acids, leucine, which is an essential amino acid that humans cannot synthesize without it. It is also involved in gluconeogenesis, the synthesis of glucose from molecules that are not carbohydrates. This vitamin contributes to have healthy nails, skin, and hair. B9. Two forms of this vitamin exist. One is folate, which is the naturally occurring form of this vitamin, and folic acid, which is the man-made one. Folate plays a crucial role in cell growth and the formation of DNA. Unlike most folate, the majority of folic acid is not converted to the active form of vitamin B9 or 5-MTHF in the digestive system. Instead, it needs to be converted in the liver or in other tissues. This process is slow and ineffective. Besides all that, several studies also indicate that chronically elevated levels of unmetabolized folic acid may have adverse health effects. These include increased cancer risk and might accelerate the growth of precancerous lesions. Amongst elderly people, it may hide vitamin B12 deficiency. Although high folic acid intake is a concern, the health implications are not clear and more studies are needed on the subject. Alright guys, just a little Bobby's perspective impersonation there. The B vitamin complex are found in adequate amounts in beef liver, the granddaddy of all foods, the true superfood. Lamb shanks, mussels, crabs, fish, fish eggs, yogurt, oysters, colostrum, and milk, just to name a few. As you can see, humans really do not require consuming plants, fruits, legumes, or grains unless it's necessary. I'm not saying to you to not eat anything but animal sourced foods. On the contrary, what I am saying is that if you have access to good quality animal source foods, you do not have to worry about malnutrition nor worry about developing diseases. Besides B12 and D3, there are other macronutrients that cannot be found in plant foods. For the purpose of time, I'm only going to mention a few. They are creatine, carnosine, DHA, heme iron, and taurine. On the next video for this series, I will talk about minerals and trace minerals. This is it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching it and for your support. Be well and goodbye.